All right, so tonight I just wanted to go over goal setting because this is something that I'm doing right now. And so actually preparing for this call made me kind of jump into doing it a little bit early. But I never used to goal set, especially as a new coach, and I didn't even know I'm like people do that, like they write down their goals. So I just kind of wanted to go over that and show. So this might be like something you already know how to do, but maybe whoever watches the recording too can help them. Um, Plus, everything that we're setting ourselves up to do right now is going to help us so much faster in January. And if you haven't heard yet, January is typically a very lucrative month because that's when everybody is getting back into fitness. And I'm kind of experiencing that. Honestly, people are getting ready now, also kind of the end of December. So even if you haven't done anything this month, like Monday after Christmas is over, like hit it hard with invites because everyone's ready and you want them to be thinking of your name when they're like, okay, because some people just will ignore you. Like I have tons of people that said yes to trying the job one sample, and most of them have not done it and they've had it all month. So, but I know that after Christmas, even if they haven't done it yet, they're going to start thinking about it because the holidays are over and that's kind of like what people do. So, all of that being said, this is something that I'm doing. So, so I realized I wanted to jump right into goal setting, but I realized that, before you really start like figuring out your goals, you have to go back to remembering your why. And why did you start coaching? What is your vision for this? Like, what do you want in your business this next year or the next 3 months? You can break it down. What do you want in your life? Like, these goals don't have to only be for business. And sometimes that's hard for me because I like only want to set business goals. But like last year I finally kind of started that. I wanted to implement date nights, and now I haven't been very good at like tracking all of that. But I think the more that we actually write stuff down and kind of say it out loud and get specific, the more that we are probably going to be more conscious about working towards it. So before we do anything, write down what your why is, or you can write down this slide and then do this later in your own time if you want to spend more time on it. I am going to try to sort of fly through it because I can't talk for very long. It hurts my stomach. But anyways, so this was something that I do obviously. And like when I first started coaching, I literally started because I wanted to help other moms. I wanted to build my own community. And that's it. Like I didn't have a big business plan. I did care about getting to Emerald and getting to Diamond and hitting Success Club. I did not have an income level. It was kind of a weird thing, but like I wanted the prizes more than I cared about the paycheck. I wanted to be invited to the next year's Success Club trip. Which, by the way, all you have to do is hit Success Club. If you hit it every single month, like you will be invited to it. It's only 3 people a month. So it's not like you have to be some like crazy hitting big goals. There are a lot of people that only run their business to get on those trips, which I think is fun because I mean, it's a free trip. So anyways, so think about what you're looking for in this next year. And then of course your goals are going to go from there of where you want to go. And if you're not sure, like, then we can talk about it here. You can ask me questions later privately, but if you're not sure, okay, this is my goal. What do I need to do? How many invites do I need to send? That kind of thing. We can definitely work on that together. But what I've learned is that you have to get really specific. So I used to kind of say just like typical things. I don't even know what examples are. Well, this isn't a business goal, but like every one of my challengers typically will say, I want to lose weight, or I want to tone up, or I want to feel better in my jeans. Those are really good, very like blanket goals. But if they don't get specific, then they're always going to be trying to lose weight, right? So they're always like, they don't have a set goal. Maybe it's only 5 pounds or whatever, but you need that specific. I want to hit, I want to lose 5 pounds by Christmas, which is too late now, but don't try to do that. um, but you kind of get the point. The more specific that you are, the more direct you're going to know what direction you need to take and exactly the steps to get there. So we're going to go through, and again, you can kind of just jot down these sections and do this later, or kind of work on it as we're talking. But first I started with, what do I want for 2022? What are my dreams? What, what maybe actual things do you want to buy? What do you want to see happen in your own personal growth, in your life, in your marriage, in your family time? So, and I wrote all mine down. I'm just going to kind of share them. And I'm sure I'll think of more, but this was like me quickly. So I've been wanting to remodel our ugly kitchen ever since we moved into this house. Okay, that's like my top one. And we've done lots of other things to the house, but that's like the big one. And so you end up doing all the little things and not saving for that. So I really want to focus on saving to remodel that kitchen. And then if I have extra money, I'd remodel the bathrooms, and then we'd be good. And then I'll be totally honest here, like I want to build a full-time income in this business. So for this next year, I'm setting a goal, and I guess I didn't even get specific about when, but we're not quite doing the goals yet anyways, but I want to start making $2,000 a week. I want to focus on weekly date nights with my husband, even if that means it's at home sometimes, family trips or outings, and something that is a dream of mine is to be on the National Wake Up Call. So obviously you can make your list much longer. Those are just some examples. And they also don't have to be those goals. Those are just things that I have dreamed of and that I want. And I'm going to say that that's when I want them this year, okay? And it's sometimes, I'll say this again later, but I have put some of those things on every year. So it's okay if it doesn't end up happening, but the more that you, again, the more that you speak it and the more that you want it, just keep adding it each year. Or if it's a monthly goal each month until you get it and really work towards getting it. So then once I kind of know, and so the more specific that you are, the more that's going to guide you to your actual goals and how you need to set those. So the next one is kind of a big picture, right? So I'm looking at my year-end goals. Where do I want to be by next December? And for me, mostly I'm focusing on business-related things, but of course it can be for other aspects of your life. But I want to be elite. I want to lock in elite for 2022. And that means I have to be at least 5-star. So I want to help 5 people hit diamond this year. Again, and I put the National Wake Up Call and the $2,000 a week. So that was kind of my dreams and wants, and then also my year-end goals to be hitting that all by the end of the year. So still, that's a pretty broad goals. And then you start breaking it down per quarter. And so, and I did this last year, and it's, it's going to be really pretty on paper, but probably it's not going to work out always perfectly like you write it down. Like, so for instance, if I want to hit elite in December, then like a pretty look on paper is that I probably need to be hitting team builder already by March or April, by that first quarter. I don't actually know what the first quarter is, which month it is. That would have been smart, but I guess break it in. It's probably April. So, and again, like that might not happen perfectly, but the harder that you work towards that goal earlier on, then the closer you're going to get to that big year-end goal by the end. That's kind of the point there, breaking it down. And I didn't go through first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You can definitely do that. But for this sake, and really even just set that first quarter goal, and then maybe you hit it, then you can set your second quarter goals and go from there. Or if you didn't hit it, what things can you step it up to hit that before the second quarter, like that. So then we get down to monthly goals. And this again, maybe like maybe you only want those 3 people a month. Maybe you just want to get, everyone's goal should always be to at least get into Success Club, no matter what. If you're a hobby coach, if that's not your goal and you're not at least trying to do that, then you might just should be a preferred customer because, and I'm not saying that you just can't miss it, but if that's not on your goal list, like that's the whole deal of coaching, is helping people sign up, right? So, okay. Now, what was I going with that? So I'll share my monthly goals, at least to start. And something that I learned about setting goals also, especially those monthly ones, is set them high, because they might sound ridiculous. Like I'm going to read some of mine and be like, I already know that's probably not going to happen. First of all, don't have that attitude. And second, set them high, because the higher that they are in a realistic place, I guess, the harder you're going to push, so that you'll probably hit lower than that, like Success Club is what I'm saying, but at least you'll be hitting. So like, for instance, probably this whole last year, my Success Club goals are always to be getting my account in Success Club 10 and then my husband's in Success Club 10. Okay, so total, that's 20 points. And I'm really going to be pushing for that. But so say your goal is really Success Club 5, you'd be really happy with that. Set your goal as Success Club 10. Then you're pushing extra hard to get to that, and you're probably always going to hit Success Club 5 that way. Does that make sense? So set it higher than what you think you can do, but not extreme. Don't be like 50 points every month if you're not in 5 yet. But it really does help, and it really does work if you are intentional about trying to hit those goals. So, so I have a Success Club goal. I have a number of coaches, because I want to grow a large business and I want to help people advance to Diamond. So I'm going to have to be recruiting coaches every month. And we're going to kind of break this down in a minute, but I just wanted to read through mine quickly first. So my goal is to enroll 6 coaches a month. Now, some of those might be preferred customers, and I could break it down even more specific to like, how many do I want working coaches? I would love them all to be working coaches. Okay, what else? So, okay, I think that's all I'm going to say for the goal part, because the rest I actually have broken down even more. I kind of wrote stuff down, and then once you have your goals written, and so maybe your goal is to rank advanced. Obviously, oh, I totally didn't share my first quarter goal. I'll go back and say that, because my first quarter goal is to hit Team Builder, and I want to advance Alice's account to Diamond, and I want to help one other person at least hit Diamond by then. So I have that broken down for the first like 3 or 4 months of the year, right? Then we go to the monthly. Sorry, I kind of backtracked there. Okay, but how do we break it down from there? So we go from elite to needing at least 2-star by April, say, to hitting Success Club and enrolling coaches and recruiting working coaches. How do we break that down? So one of my goals was adding 6 coaches a month. So then I'm going to break it down by what do I need to do every day of that month in order to hopefully hit that. And it's not all like perfect math. Like as I'm reading this, I already know it's so messy, and it's sometimes up in the air, and just some months don't work out how we want. So don't let that discourage you. But these are the things that we can control, and then the outcome we can't always control. But as long as we're doing our part, like it eventually all works, right? So adding 6 coaches a month, that would be a lot, and that's more than I'm doing now. So I need to focus more on coach invites than just to our challenge groups. So I'm going to be setting a goal of 3 to 5 coach invites a day, and that's really not that much. And I've done that before, but it's about staying consistent with that goal. Okay. So I'm writing that down. And once you stretch yourself and you get used to that number, it's not hard anymore. And I started that, I'm going to be like off track for a second, but when we started 2020, when we started the online school and everyone had to do their kids at home and all that, I literally was like, I don't know when I'm going to do my business. And so my only goal, of course, was I wanted to get in Success Club. But my only goal was, Heidi, just send 10 invites a day. Do that. And then if you have extra time, do more. And just that small tweak, it's like, that's not a huge number. And so I sent 10 invites a day, every day, at least Friday. I don't remember if I was doing Saturday or not. I might have been. But what happened was that I was so consistent with that smaller amount that I didn't need to be sending 20 or 30 invites every day, because I was consistent with 10 every day. So like making that smaller goal. So maybe you only send one coach invite a day. If that's more than you're doing now and you consistently do it every week, that's still 20 or 30 invites a month to coaching. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Okay, sorry, got off track there, but I wanted to say that because sometimes it's just that small tweak and it can make, and that's when I consistently hit Success Club starting then. Like I got All-Star the next year, and it was literally just being consistent with 10, not hundreds and hundreds. Okay, so adding 6 coaches a month. I'm going to do 3 to 5 coach invites a day. I'm going to run a monthly coach sneak peek, which you guys do not have to run your own. You can add them into my groups. And I know I did this, I did it a lot last year, but I was not consistent monthly. And I got kind of lazy with it when people didn't show up. And ultimately that was on me, because I invite way better to coaching when I have a sneak peek running. And I think everyone else in the team would too. So I'm going to just be doing that. I'll probably decide on, maybe it'll be the same week, like the same Tuesday every month or something. I don't know yet. I'll figure that out next week. But that's something like, if I want more coaches, I'm going to have to focus on coaching, is the whole point of breaking this down here. I'm going to be talking about coaching every day on my stories, even if it's just a little sprinkle here. We had our team call. I'm sitting here to work on my phone while the kids are sleeping. You know, all those little things are like little, what are they called? Breadcrumbs, you know, so you're sprinkling it so that people start realizing, oh, she's actually doing something. There's more to it than just her workouts. And then my last part of that goal is making a business type of post or something about coaching once a week, at least, a call to action. And maybe twice a week. Maybe the second one's just something I'm thankful for, you know, not necessarily invited in. So that was all one goal. Hopefully that makes sense there. And hopefully that can help you if, you know, maybe it's not even, okay, I'll go to the next one and then I'm getting ahead of myself. So maybe your goal is hitting diamond. I had diamond as my goal for an embarrassingly long time, like too long. Diamond should not be that hard, but I made it hard in my head. So first of all, don't let it be hard in your head. And set a date for it. That was something that I never did until the final year, and then I finally hit it. When I was like, well, I want to be diamond. If you want to be diamond, it's not the same as you're fighting and working to get to diamond. And so I had to shift my mindset quite a bit, but it helps to know what you need to be diamond. So you need 8 coaches, 4 on each leg, and 2 of them have to be emerald. So you actually are starting to build a team, people are working, and one of those can be your spouse or a parent or something like that, that you can make emerald yourself. But if that is a goal of yours, I would still refer back to all of these things that I just said in this first goal, because all of that is going to be helping you invite to coaching, attract working coaches. And a lot of coaches can get to emerald pretty quickly. So it's still not, it is really good to hit diamond, but like I held it in this very high level in my head and it's not. So don't hold it there and just be like, okay, I got to get to diamond if I'm serious about this. But again, I would still go through this, and, you know, maybe your numbers can be a little bit smaller. But if you're trying to hit it quickly, like if you have big year-end goals, then I would say just try to go for it as fast as you can. because that's when your income grows a little bit more, your volume grows. You get $18 per cycle instead of 14, which is the Emerald. So I definitely saw a difference in my pay once I hit Diamond, plus because then you're growing, like you have more people under you. Okay, I'm gonna look at me, I never can finish on time. I get so excited. Okay, so another goal is, maybe your goal is to just become Emerald. And again, set that time frame for yourself. I'm gonna do it in January. You guys, you wanna do it. If you can do it this next week, do it, because then you're gonna get all your free customers next month if you hit Success Club. But again, know what you need. Emerald is just 2 active coaches or preferred customers. So in this one, to break it down simply, I don't think there's like a magic number for invites. When I went Emerald, I just asked everybody I could think of, and I made sure to lead with them being a discount coach. I think I only talked to I don't really remember who I talked to. I only talked to like my sister-in-law about really working as a coach, and she's the one that ended up signing up, and then I signed up Wallace. But remember that right away, like it doesn't have to be a working coach. It would be great if it was, because that's going to help you get to Diamond faster, but don't overthink it. You know, if you're a discount coach, maybe you started for the discount or whatever, or you're drinking your shake, you know that it's beneficial. So you know those benefits. So lead with that, and don't be afraid to lead with that. And like I said with Emerald, I just didn't stop talking to people until I hit it, until I found those 2 people. And then I was like, okay, I'm to Emerald, but then keep building, right? All right, so then the final one that I had an example for is maybe your goal is your Success Club 5 every month. And all of these you need to be completing. The BAT is the business activity tracker. So that is the PDF on our training, or it's on the digital on our Coach Office website. So no matter what, if that's being done, then it's just a matter of, if you're not hitting your goals, it's just a matter of maybe more invites or tweaking something that you're saying in your messages, something like that. So even just to hit Success Club 5, you have to consistently be filling out that tracker. And like I put the goal of 10 invites a day, because that's truly when everything shifted for me to be consistent with Success Club 5. 10 invites used to sound like this huge, scary number to me. Like, where am I ever going to find that many people to talk to every day? And because I was probably sending like 3 to 5 invites and maybe occasionally 10 as a newer coach. And the number isn't the magic, like it can be different for everybody. But from my experience, that was when it shifted, and I was consistently hitting at least 5 points every month. So I would set that as a goal and stretch yourself. And it will feel hard at first, but then eventually in a couple months of you doing it, it'll just be normal. It'll just be like, okay, I got to 10, and then you'll bump up to 15, and then, you know, like that. And then finally, this is part of the tracker, but sharing every day on your stories and making posts so that people can see what you're doing, and that helps back up all of your things. So, okay, I feel like I probably talked too much on that, but now you should know how to break down your goals. And I would write those down, and that's literally what I'm doing. And I always write them down, and then I never look at them the rest of the year. But this year I'm really going to refer back every morning. Like, okay, because it's all easy stuff. And so I should not be forgetting to share about coaching on my stories, for instance. That's the one that I always forget. And I'm like, it's not hard. Why am I making this hard? Okay, so finally, don't forget that you should be reading or listening to personal development always, every single day. If you have never done this, pick a book, ask me for suggestions. I have a whole bookshelf of them now. That's what I asked for Christmas from my mom. I gave her a list of like 20 books. I'm like, I want these. But the growth of your business literally depends on the growth of you. And I have witnessed this so many times in myself. And when I'm in a slump, you know, I'll stop reading personal development, or maybe I need extra. And those are the times when everything slows down. because I'm not pouring into myself. So how can I pour into everybody else? And I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but pick a PD book or a podcast, or get that Growth Day app. It's amazing. And start listening or reading. Okay, finally, this is my last one. So if you don't hit the goal when you wanted to, and I kind of said this at the beginning, but don't get discouraged, just move it to the next month. So I used to move it to the next month, and then like, that's it. I would be like, okay, this is my goal again, but I wasn't really working towards the goal. I wasn't, number 2 says evaluate things that worked or that didn't move you forward. I wasn't evaluating. I was just still doing the same thing. So if what you did, say you don't hit your goal in January, if what you did in January didn't work or didn't get you to where you wanted, then message me. Let's tweak it. Let's see, like, let's evaluate what you did, how you're sending your messages, all of those things. And then how can we move forward and change something? It might not even be a big change. That was always hard for me because I don't like to be critiqued and I don't like to be told that I'm wrong. So if that's you, then know that that's me too, and I get it, and it's not personal. We just want you to hit your goals. All right, so be honest with yourself too. This was another lesson I learned. Did you really do all those things or send that many invites that you said you would or did? For a long time, this is a little secret not to do, but I was sending invites, but a lot of times I was writing down the same people's names like multiple times in the month. That doesn't count as a new invite. I already invited them and they said no, or they ignored me. That would then be a follow-up. And so in turn, it looked like I was sending lots of invites, but it was just kind of like repetitive, the same people, and I wasn't going for new people. So we always want to be looking for new people, because the first people might not be ready yet. But it is hard to just be honest with yourself when you're doing that evaluation, and then just tweak it. Like, you are the business owner, and so like, you can do it. You can change whatever you want. And then the final thing is just stay positive and keep working. Don't beat yourself up, because I sure do that too. And just know that sometimes all of these numbers, like, they're not magic numbers, unfortunately. And I'm somebody that loves to just have all these boxes to check off, and then it works that way. But it just doesn't always work that way, because we're people and we're growing, and the people that we're messaging are people and they're growing and they have lives. And so sometimes our goals just take longer. And then what I've learned is that when they take longer, it's usually because there was some lesson that I was supposed to learn during that time. It's hard to swallow because I want to hit these goals faster than that. But so be sure that you go back and reflect every month. What did you learn? Even if it was like tough, or it made you mad or emotional or something, go back and jot that down so that you can remember it when you're struggling another time. So, all right. That is all.